Okay guys, so today is the day. You may be wondering, why is he starting off back there in his backyard? That's because this is the next project. This backyard is what I'm going to take over next. There are 3 layers of Bermuda back here that never stuck because of all these trees. Unfortunately, this black oak's coming down. It's dying. So it's got to come down, which is going to open this entire backyard up. So this is the next project. But today we're going to talk about what my big project was and how happy I am over it. We'll be right back to you. Okay guys, let's talk about my front yard. It's Bermuda and I love it. But what got me here? What got me there is by listening to the YouTube guys that tell you how to take care of your yard. And I'm here to tell you there are a lot of guys out there that can tell you, no matter how bad your yard is, what you can do to make your yard look good. If you haven't been following me, my yard was invaded by some bad fungus, really bad fungus. Then some damage was done by a cement truck pouring an additional patio in my backyard. I had oil in my yard, I had it gouged out. I had the fungus on there. The fungus had basically done a number on the entire yard. It had started at the end of the street and worked its way up. Got my neighbor across the road, then me. So I got on YouTube and I wanted to find out what I could do to fix my yard. Well, here's the blueprint of my yard. My driveway, small side, big side, 3,500 square feet. I broke it down into zones. If you look top to bottom there, and then over in here, top to bottom, figured out how to do watering. Went to the dollar store, bought 4 cups, put them out in separate places in my yard because I have to hand water my yard, so I have to move a sprinkler around. Figured out that it's not a matter of, hey, I watered my yard for an hour today. It's a matter of how much water to those certain zones got in that hour. If they didn't get their ½ an inch to an inch, whatever the case may be, in that hour, then that hour meant nothing. It's the level of water that you're putting on your yard. Next, the most important thing with your yard, mowing. I've got a Toro 22-inch front wheel drive mulching mower, recycler. Right now I'm cutting every 2 days. And it's extremely important. If you want to maintain your yard, you have to make that commitment. You have to say, this is what I want my yard to look like, and this is what it's going to take to get there. For me, I want to cut it 1.5 inches. I can't go any lower because my yard's not perfectly level. I have scalping spots if I go any lower than that. So 1.5 inches every 2 days. That's what gets me there. Now, products. I'm going to tell you about some great products, but I'm just going to say it. I'm not going to give you some in-depth chemical analysis of everything. But here is the synthetic fertilizer that I use, PGF Complete. This is magic in a bag. No joke. 16-4-8 fertilizer. That's your that's your N, PK. And I put this out, like I said, 3,500 square feet, a 15-pound bag. Gives me 1,500 square feet still left over at the end of the bag to use as I see fit. I always mark off on the bag there. Next, I came in with Humichar. What is Humichar? It's a soil conditioner. This thing gets your soil started. It starts to get your soil to where you eventually want it to be. This is no miracle in a bag. This isn't going to get you overnight results. This is an ongoing process that you have to do to build your soil. Your mower, your soil gets you where you want to go, plus the watering. But if your soil's bad, you're going to have bad grass. It doesn't matter how many times that your yard guys come over here and spray your yard to make it look green. After a week or so, that green's going to go away and you're going to say, why isn't my yard pretty? You've got to get your soil right. This Humichar, it starts to develop that soil into that dark, rich soil that you want versus here in Georgia, that old nasty red clay. Now, Humichar, PGF Complete, but here's the stuff right here. N-Ext products. This is a small company. Not a lot of people have heard about. They're on the rise. I don't get anything for telling you, any money, any endorsements, anything for telling you guys about any of these companies. I'm sharing with you what was a winner for me. RGS, that's to stimulate the root growth. Humeric 12, humeric acid. This is what you want to condition your soil, just like this Humichar. Your soil can't get enough of this. Aerate, liquid aeration. This is what opens your soil up and allows the nutrients to seep down into it. Here's your Micro-Greene. Micro-Greene has all these micronutrients that your soil wants. Your magnesium, your sulfur, your copper, your iron, your manganese, zinc, all these things that your soil wants. That provides it, plus it gives you a little punch of green. Great stuff. Then I did some research and I heard about a product called Hydretain. I've got some spots down at the end of my driveway. It's basically a rock ledge, burns out every single summer, crunchy. Doesn't matter what I do, how many times I put water on it, burns out. Coming up the driveway here does the same thing. This says that it'll save you 50% on your watering bill, and it helps draw the moisture from the air, and it helps the soil retain that moisture. And there's a lot of documented proof that this stuff actually does work. I'm gonna find out if it does or not. So, next thing I learned about Ortho Sprayer. Here's the jug. I just got done spraying, so they're drying out. The end of this, what you're looking at right there, that gives you 2 gallons per minute. Comes out the end of that. These dials, that's not for how much that you put inside the jug, that's your walking speed. You set that to the speed that you want. So if you're gonna walk slow, then you're gonna set it lower. If you're gonna walk faster and you want more product to come out, you're gonna set it higher. Now, let me think what else I've got here. I used insecticides, and I used stuff for my fungus. Let's see here. Fishing around in here for the different stuff that I got. My fungicide. Let's bring this over here to the workbench. This is another Anderson's product. Helps with grubs, but it also works on insects. With grubs, you can choose to be preventative or curative. Curative, if they're already out and you've got problems with them, you put a product out. Preventative means how you're going to put it out to prevent you from getting a problem. This will do both. This is a great product. I'll tell you even more in about a month, because Japanese beetles are already starting to come out. You know what Japanese beetles are, they're going to be grubs in the ground. So we're going to find out if that stuff's working. Then I'm going to pronounce these things the best I can. Propiconazole. This is another treatment for fungus. Now here's the thing about fungus. You don't want to use the same thing over and over and over and over. You can go get the Spectracide or the Bayer lawn and insect fungus treatment that you put on the end of your hose and you spray. You can put that out, but if you use that over and over and over and over, your yard's going to build up a tolerance to it. And then the fungus will just come in and have its way. So make sure that you're alternating products back and forth. So those are the products that I've used for the most part. Coming up, I'm going to be doing a treatment of this, organics. This entire summer, I'm staying away from synthetics. It's all going to be organics. Why? Because synthetics will be harsh with nitrogen. It's going to be harsh on the yard when it's already hot outside. I'm having to water a lot. The yard's getting stressed. I don't want to stress it even more by putting some kind of synthetic treatment on the yard. I want to do the organics. Well, what do the organics do? The organics don't do anything magical. It's once they go down into the soil, the microbes start to eat on the organics. And then the microbes poop out the organics. And it's that poop that treats your yard, gives it the green effect, nourishes your yard, gives it the treatments that it needs. So that is going to go on my front yard in a couple weeks. The backyard that I gave you guys a hint to, my N-Ext products. I've been treating this front yard with these N-Ext products, and I've got areas that were usually bare that I couldn't get grass to grow in. Started using these and I've got grass in them. Across the road, a neighbor has areas behind a tree, compacted. Just could never get grass to grow in there. I put these N-Ext products on there. Grass is growing in those areas. My neighbor down the road, world's worst is always a yard. The people had left it alone forever. They let the weeds grow up knee high. They moved out. My buddy bought the house, said, what can you do? 3 different kind of grasses. Centipede, zoysia, Bermuda. He wanted to keep the zoysia. We killed off the centipede. The Bermuda's going to get choked out. Put this RGS Aerate Humic 12 on it. Man, it's taken over. It's taken off big time. So, my yard. let's take a look at my yard now. I am 100% happy with my yard. Some of you guys may find stuff when you see it, and you may say, I wouldn't be happy if that was mine, or I'd do this and that different. I'm happy. This is her. From where it was, and I'm going to put some pictures of what I had until now. And I'm happy. I would venture to say that if you go up and down my road and you look at the yards and compare mine, right now I'm dominating the yards on my main street here. Now, that's not to say that they're not going to come back and find some way to dominate me. But right now, this is the yard right here. Extremely happy. This strip down through here, still got some filling in going on, but AT&T came through, tore this whole area up. Never was the same after that. That's how I found out about the rock ledge up underneath there. And now it's filled in. It's thick. I mean, if you come in here and you look at some of this, that's thick right there. So that's what I've done with my yard. Those are the products that I've used. And I've used those N-Ext products on bushes too. I took these Indian hawthorns down because they'd gotten too high. I cut them down. These jokers, in a short amount of time, started popping out new growth all over them. My roses, Lord Pedlums. This is a brand new Lord Pedlum right here that I put in. That was a little bitty thing. I started pouring some of those N-Ext products on it. It's taken off. My gardenias, that fungus that was on my yard, it got on these gardenias, took all the leaves off of them. Started putting it on these. Look at those. That was bare. Naked as can be. They're coming back, growing like crazy. Down here, my knockout roses, all down in this area, thriving this year. Thriving, green, beautiful blooms. They're transitioning right now between blooms. Beautiful blooms on those. I'm telling y'all, look at this grass. Look at that. So, that's where I'm at. If you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up. If you think I could be doing better, give me a thumbs down. Do some comments. Tell me what you think. Be honest about it. You're not going to hurt my feelings. But subscribe to me, because that's the only way with YouTube's algorithms. That's the only way that we can get together and share these videos, is when their algorithm starts doing its thing. Then I'll pop up, you'll get my information, I'll get yours, I'll do reviews on yours, give you a thumbs up, and tell you, hey, good job, or hey, have you tried doing this? But I appreciate all you guys. I tell you what, I wouldn't have that right there if it weren't for guys like the LawnCare Nut, if it weren't for guys like Doc, if it weren't for N-Ext products, all those guys at N-Ext. I watch all those videos. The Greener Lawn, oh man, let's see, the BYD, the Bermuda channel. Man, just off the top of my head, I can't remember all these guys, but here's the thing I learned. Your lawnmower, you gotta mow your lawn if you wanna have a good lawn. You gotta water it. Gotta water it. But you gotta take care of that soil. That soil is what is gonna make you have a nice yard. Like I said again, lawn guys can come in, they can spray this yard all they want, and you'll be happy a few days later because it's nice and green because I slammed it with that nitrogen. But in a week or so, you're gonna be like, man, I'm not so happy with this now, and I paid all that money. They're treating the grass, they're not treating the soil. This is the Lawn Apprentice. Thanks for tuning in.